I think some of you are going to find this pretty funny. One of the things that, by the way, speaking of projection, one of the things the right criticizes the left for is this idea that anything goes, any opinion is valid, and they call it a form of postmodernism, where everyone is supposed to get an equal seat at the table and we have to listen to all opinions and value them and consider them all equally. Now, it's not true. It's not true. But as is often the case, it is they who are doing the very thing which they accuse others of doing. We call this projection. Charlie Kirk, a right-wing ideologue who speaks overwhelmingly to college-age people and tries to convince them to become right-wingers, he is now saying inflation may be caused by trans people, by transgender people. If I've ever seen an example of this sort of pseudo-postmodern, every opinion is valid, everything is connected sort of thing, it's this. Take a listen to this. This is beyond words.
So one of the reasons why we take such a strong stance and opinion on the trans issue is it's an issue of reality. You do not get to determine your own reality. Do not get to all of a sudden say, I'm rich or I'm poor. No, we actually have to look at some evidence of whether or not you're rich or poor. Now, some of those are relative terms. Rich according to who? Rich according to what? I understand that. But relatively, some of the terms we use, short, tall, you can't just make them up. You say, oh, wow, that person is taller than that person. That person is faster than that person.
Fair.
That person is stronger than that person.
So far, so good.
And one of the reasons why we've been so insistent against this idea you can change your gender or change your sex or change both of them is that when you start to indulge in the belief that you could become whatever you want and reality is subjective, not objective, you're going to have ramifications that nobody anticipated or intended.
Okay.
So there is a direct connection to inflation and the trans issue.
Wow.
I say, Charlie, come on, they couldn't be further apart. No, they're exactly the same. They're the same in this aspect. When you believe that men can become women, why wouldn't you also believe that you could print wealth?
Oh, man. That's rich, isn't it? Isn't that, there's about 7 things that have to be unpacked there.
If you believe that someone can change their gender, why wouldn't you also believe that money is wealth? Now, there are very simple laws of economics, just like there's laws of nature, there's laws of physics, laws of thermodynamics, laws of biology. We must live according to those laws.
What's really funny about this is, so let me, I'm going to interpret what he's saying. He says that the ideology that one can pick their gender leads to inflation insofar as saying you can pick your gender is like saying you can print money without causing inflation. Neither is true, but that both are sort of magical, imaginary beliefs not based in reality. If you believe one, you're likely to believe the other. If you believe anyone can pick their gender, you believe you can just increase the money supply with no effect, and you're likely to do it. The people who believe you can pick your gender are more likely to believe you can increase the money supply with no effect. And the problem with this is it's so absurd that it's hard to even discuss it on its merits. But the general principle that applies here is projection. Because I could turn this around. This doesn't lead to productive discussion, is the point I'm trying to make. I could turn this around and go, listen, Charlie, the idea that you cut taxes for the rich and it helps the economy, that's just imaginary. That's just as imaginary as anything else. And you can just link two things. You can just link any two things. Listen, if vaccines are related to trickle-down economics. David, what? What are you talking about? Yeah, I mean, listen, if the belief that the vaccine doesn't work is just as imaginary as the belief that cutting taxes for the rich is good for the economy. Oh, okay, I've just linked them. Does this actually substantively improve our understanding of either of those issues, vaccination or taxation? No, it doesn't. And similarly, Charlie Kirk saying, well, the idea that people can believe things that aren't true can be used to link any two issues. It doesn't mean there's actually a connection between trans and inflation. What's the purpose of this, though? The purpose is to start grouping ideas they don't like together, even if they don't actually have any business being grouped together, with the idea of convincing people by saying, well, if you believe either of these things, you have to believe the other. They must both be wrong, so I should reject both beliefs. That's the idea. It's to weaponize the anti-trans people when it comes to the economy under Biden, or the other way around, to weaponize the economy under Biden to convince people that they shouldn't be for people being able to live in the way that aligns with the way that they feel. So it's bogus. It doesn't lead to anything productive, but this is the Ben Shapiro type stuff that you go to a college campus and people hear and they go, wow, Charlie's making a lot of sense there. It really makes a lot of sense. It's their version of the anything goes postmodernism that they say exists exclusively on the left. And they're not going to stop because this works. He goes to college campuses and he says this stuff and people just donate. They just give him money. They give him money, money, money. It's extremely profitable. It's extremely effective. And it's extraordinarily depressing.